Navajo Stirling knocked out Jan Blachowicz last weekend. I'm not surprised of the result given the age of Jan Blachowicz, and Stirling winning makes too much sense for the light heavyweight storyline. Albino Izzy is now 11-0 and is only one step away from being a title contender, and he knows it as well. After knocking out Jan Blachowicz, he called out two fighters, them being Paulo Costa and Khalil Roundtree. If you watched my What's Next for Light Heavyweight video, I said that Stirling should fight Paulo Costa if he were to win Saturday's fight. And now that he did, I still think that is the fight to make. Paulo Costa is coming off a win of the once undefeated Azamat Murzakanov, and I think he is also one win away from a title shot. I still think Paulo Costa needs just one more win before getting a title shot, because although Azamat was undefeated, this is his only win at light heavyweight, and there are just more deserving contenders at the moment. Paulo Costa also didn't look that great in the fight. He weathered pretty bad, especially in the second. He did come back super recharged for the third, like TJ on EPO, and would get the knockout, but I still think he needs one more test. Stirling also called out Khalil Roundtree, and the UFC better not set this up. Yes, Khalil is a great fighter, but the outcome of this fight would be no contender. If Navajo wins, I don't think a win over Roundtree will move him up for the title, especially if Costa hasn't fought yet. And if Navajo loses, do we really think Roundtree could beat any of these guys? Roundtree is great, but he will never touch gold. So why give him an undefeated prospect to where if he beats him, that kills some of the excitement of the division. Also, a fight with Costa would be a huge test for them both. Paulo Costa is my guy, one of the most satisfying strikers to watch. His combinations are so fluid and powerful. I feel like I'm watching the Brazilian Hulk fight. Costa would be a huge test for Stirling because for someone who is 11-0, I still don't have a clear opinion on him. Clearly he is good, but hasn't showed me anything that makes me think he could beat Olberg. As I was editing this video, I remembered that Navajo and Olberg are teammates. And like Whitaker, Navajo won't fight Olberg. And this is really annoying in MMA when, able contenders, good contenders won't fight the champ. We see it all the time. So this only creates a contender if Costa wins or if Ankalaev is the champ. We could have a situation where Navajo and Whitaker keep winning and become like the ultimate gatekeepers for Olberg. I feel like the UFC can't really do much about this. Like, if they keep winning, they're gonna move up, and if they refuse to fight for the belt, you can't force them. This realization messes up this matchup a bit. It really pisses me off how he wants to wait for Olberg and Whitaker to retire. If we want to punish Navajo a bit, let's put him against Azamat. Azamat is dangerous and could have beat Costa, especially in a 5-round fight. Then we could do Reyes versus Costa. This would give Costa an easier matchup and sort of reward him since we know he would fight Olberg. But since Navajo called out Costa specifically, we'll continue breaking down that fight. Now for a prediction of how this fight would go. I don't even know. Stirling seemed kind of chinny against Jan. If Jan had an ounce of finishing instinct in that moment, he could have finished Stirling. His butt nearly touched the canvas. Paulo Costa seems like the faster and better striker. Like, he's better at mixing combinations. But Navajo is definitely more heavy-handed. He also trains with Izzy, who was the first to beat Costa, and will definitely share some tips during the training camp. I think Costa wins this one. The Izzy that beat him was probably the best Izzy we have ever seen. He limited Costa to a dozen shots landed and was able to finish him. I don't think that KO makes him chinny. He took bombs against Murzakanov, who has proven knockout power. The main obstacle would be cardio. Costa fades as the fight goes on, and Navajo doesn't seem to slow down at all. I'm like 65-35 Costa to Stirling. And if the UFC wants to do something with Roundtree, set him up against Whitaker. Whitaker already said he won't fight Olberg, and I know Roundtree can't beat Olberg, so this fight is just to keep them busy. Anyone who beats Roundtree isn't getting a title shot, and Whitaker not wanting one makes this the most sensible matchup. Roundtree versus Whitaker would be a great fight. I know it sounds like I'm shitting on Roundtree, but he is a solid fighter, and not to be parasocial, he seems like a solid dude, and I really like his fighting style. I really appreciate how he doesn't care if he ends a fighter's career from stomping on his knee, but if he does that to my boy Bobby Knuckles while he's blitzing in, he might have to be sent to prison. I'll be rooting for Whitaker, but this will be a huge test for him. But back to Navajo and Costa. Navajo is still fresh, so why not put them on the Abu Dhabi card? The timing works out because Costa is a big boy and needs 8 weeks to make weight, but that's in comparison to the 14 to 15 weeks he needed in middleweight. A win for either of them pushes them forward and creates an exciting contender. But let me know what you guys think. Okay, peace.